Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you're looking for a book recommendation to help you meditate through the perspective of someone who has been doing it for many, many years, I have a great suggestion for you. And the reason I wanted to do it is because I'm someone who enjoys reading many books on meditation. And what I find is while there are quite a few instructional books, I don't see as many biographies that really cover in depth people who are known as meditation masters, meditation teachers, the type of people who inspire many, many hundreds, even thousands of them. But this is definitely one of them. And that book is this right here. It's Dipa Ma, The Life and Legacy of a Buddhist Master. And this is a really cool book because if you've read any book about somebody who is on a transformative journey, whether it's bodybuilding or running, anything, this is going to be a book that's really aligned with that type of hero's journey, so to speak, because when Dipa Ma started meditation, it wasn't even known for women. It was predominantly something that was practiced by men. And she starts out in a space where she is a complete novice, somebody who struggles, somebody who finds it difficult, somebody who has tried before, failed, but is just dedicated to wanting to learn and, at least from her perspective, have some level of mastery over this craft. I don't know about being a meditation master, but I definitely feel that the beginning of her journey, this idea of trying and not being able to stay consistent, is something that everybody who tries to have a meditation practice should relate to. But what gets really interesting to me about this story is that Dipa Ma has an approach to meditation that was very unique to me in the sense that she would try to push her practice further and further with the mindset, I believe, of an athlete, right? An athlete is always trying to master and be better and push not just far, but further beyond comprehension to the average person. When I would read her progression, she would go from the type of meditations that we're familiar with, 10, 20, 30 minutes, but she would try to push it to hours. And then she would try to push it to days. It's very, very interesting to see how she would go through this progression and how somebody could even manage this level of discipline, but she was known for it. She was known for pushing further and further. And it's very inspiring because if you want to try to compare yourself to somebody who meditates like this, I wouldn't recommend it. At least it wouldn't work for me because it could be discouraging. But the flip side of that is for me to know that, hey, if somebody out there can meditate for 5 hours, if somebody could be out there meditating for 10 hours, then I'm going to try to be a little more stringent and a little more disciplined for my 20 minutes, for my 30 minutes. She makes the comparison make what at least I'm trying to attempt feel relatively, I want to say small, but really the word is relatively achievable. It makes it feel as if what I want to do is much more tangible. And so using her as that example really made me want to have that consistency because there's someone out there doing something so spectacular that I feel that there's no reason why I can't do what I want to do to the level that I want to do it. So, very inspiring story. What gets really interesting too is as it goes further and further into it, she shares a lot of great lessons for people who are coming to learn from her. She eventually does become a meditation teacher. She inspires so many people. She's in a kind of unique position too, being a woman, because there's just not that very many woman meditation teachers. And so you get this empowering women's story within this book as well. But what I appreciate is the advice that she'll give to other people. No matter how advanced she is, she understands the perspective of the person who's coming up to her who's inexperienced. the person who's coming up to her who's just at phase one and trying to learn how they can just get initiated with something and maybe have their own form of practice. One of the stories that stands out to me is she is approached by a woman who is not much unlike herself in the early part of her story, who has a husband, who has children, and wants to meditate, but feels that she just doesn't have the time. And what she said to her, even though it's small, I found powerful because it just still resonates to me with this day. The lady saying, "I cannot meditate. I don't have the time. These are all of my family obligations." And Dipa Ma tells her very simply and very plainly, just meditate whenever you can, as much as you can. So it doesn't matter if we're unable to meditate for 30 minutes. It doesn't matter if we're unable to even attempt to do what she does and have the space to say, I'm going to try to meditate for 3 hours or 4 hours today. What she's saying is if you even have 1 minute, take that moment, take that opportunity to be still, take that opportunity to be present. And if it's 5 minutes, then take that opportunity. But don't feel that you have to do what other people are doing. Do what's practical and relative to you for your life. And that's the advice that still stands out to me even to this day. I don't have judgments on how long I'm supposed to be doing something or how well I'm supposed to be doing something. I find a sense of comfort in knowing that I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And that's enough to a lot of degrees. That's enough because there's nobody out there looking and judging. There's nobody who's scoring this. This is a journey that we all do for ourselves. So don't feel like you have to ever compare yourself to anybody else. Just do like what Dipama says, what you can whenever you can. And now for probably the most, maybe the juiciest part of the book, the part that it's amazing, it's funny, it's all of the above. There's a lot of supernatural elements that Dipama eventually comes to with her meditation practice. And this I find really interesting because I'm one of those people. It's not that I don't believe in these type of things. I just haven't had these experiences. That's why I always approach it is I haven't had these experiences. It's like people I know they'll speak about having experiences with ghosts. I've never had an experience with ghosts, so it's not that I said I don't believe it. And when I hear from people who talk about them, they're very sane to me, so I don't dismiss them. I guess I'm in limbo. I guess I'm in limbo. I'm not going out the window and saying that I believe it, but I will not dismiss people, especially when they have a certain level of credibility to me. And that's kind of where Dipama gets in this book. She gets to the point where people describe her doing some extremely supernatural things, things like levitating, things like being outside of her body, things like knowing certain occurrences that have happened in the past or in the future. Now, no matter how you want to slice it, no matter what you choose to believe, this is definitely a fun portion of the book. It is something that is enjoyable. It doesn't have to be something that rubs you the wrong way if you feel differently. Just go with the flow, be open minded, and listen to the accounts of other people who vouch for these type of things that they actually claim to have seen her do. It makes it a fun read, if not anything else. But I really wanted to share this with you guys. I don't know about you. I'm personally motivated by anybody who I can look at their life story and look at their practice and follow in their footsteps, at least to the degree that's attainable for me. So again, this is Dipama. If you're interested, I hope you check it out. If you've already checked it out and had a opinion of the book, I'd love to know what your opinion was. Please leave a comment below. If you like this and you would like more book recommendations, please like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll talk to you next time.